Good morning, Spoon Pluggers. We're on Lake Shelbyville. It is June 11th. We've got cold front conditions here. Pretty good cold front went through, but we saw some cloud cover. Light rain on and off. Water levels up quite a bit from last time I was here. The water temperature is up to 80 degrees already. So we're gonna. There's a good little shallow bar on this feeder creek. We're gonna try giving that a shot. I got some nice fish off it, and then after that we're going to head down and fish this big flat area. When I'm fishing Shelbyville and other reservoirs like this, what I like to find are these large structures. A lot of people call them flats, these big flats that have a break line all the way around. And the break line drops down to the channel in most of these cases, and then you got a good protected structure. Once again, I look for the large structures, large flat structures. A good break line with the proper depth on them. Break line, anywhere from 12 to 16 feet, and the flat on top about 8 to 10 feet. Those seem to be the best kind of structures that hold the most amount of fish. Lake Shelbyville here, where we're fishing today, has got a good population of walleyes, saugers, crappie, and tons of white bass. Matter of fact, there's so many white bass, the state has no limit on size or quantity. You can keep as many as you catch out here. So we're gonna start the outboard here, and what I'm fishing today is a three-weight rig. I've got a 200 series spoon plug on here, and on the long line back here I just have about a 3-inch twister tail. I really like this combination. Catches a lot of fish, especially on lakes that have a lot of white bass and even walleye too. So, good shallow bar is right behind us here. We're going to head over there right now. It's actually up about another 100 yards or so, so we're going to let out some line and give it a go. Got pretty good watercolor out here. It's about a good medium yellow-green. It's not muddy at all, but it's good dark watercolor. I'm thinking, even though conditions have been somewhat unstable the past day or two, I got a pretty good feeling about today. It's been very stable for probably the last 7-8 days down here, where they've had temperatures in the mid-90s up until the last couple of days. There was this cold front that was just stalled just north, just above this place, really. So it's been a bit unstable the last couple of days, but I think if the fish movements were pretty good prior to this cold front, we got to believe that there's still some fish hanging around. Problem with fishing a reservoir like this, you have fluctuating water levels. Right now this reservoir is about 8-9 feet above summer pool. So at normal pool, a lot of these structures are too deep. So we got to find structures that are typically 2 to 3 feet deep at normal pool, that they're about 12, 13 feet deep now. So it can be a little tricky fishing lakes with fluctuating water levels like this, but once you find structures, you'll find the fish. And most of the time, the structures that are good at the normal pool seem to have features that are shallower that hold the fish at the higher water levels too. Right, I'm trolling a little across some deep water here, but that bar is coming right up ahead here, and it shoots out pretty good. And we'll be coming on it in just a minute here. And I'm up on top of the bar now. The water level is up about another foot or two since last time I was here, and I'm just, my lure is running just above the bar, not quite bumping bottom. So I'm going to switch and head to a slightly deeper running spoon plug here. Actually, I'm going to switch to a crankbait I've got here. This is a Norman DD22. I like them because they're cheap and they take a beating and they run pretty good. Use them a lot at Lake Petenwall for walleyes, and down here they do a good job on the walleyes and white bass as well. And this will get me about 15, 16 feet. It's pretty equivalent to a 100 series spoon plug. And it bumps the bottom pretty good too. And being a crankbait, it's not, can't go as fast with a spoon plug, but it's good for checking out the slower to medium speeds. 30 feet. Now it's starting to come up the bar. 20, 16, just about on top of the bar now. See my, you can see the rod tip, but I'm bumping bottom now on top of this bar. Got a good walk on with this crankbait. And it's going to come free in a second as I'm coming off the bar. Goose it and make a turn. A lot of times when you goose it like this, as your lure comes off the bar, it's a pretty good time for fish too. And I'm making this second pass with the crankbait here. Just a little deeper, or a little more towards the end of the bar. And I'll keep on doing that until I hit the end of the bar. I'm making straight line passes on this bar right now. On top of the bar, my crankbait's bumping it right now. Oop. I got a small fish on. This is I came up on top of the bar. Not a very big fish. Well, that's a good sign though. It took us what, 5-10 minutes to get our first fish here. I think this might be a saug or a walleye. Yep, it is. And it came on the crankbait too. That looks like it's a keeper. It's a sauger. That's a pretty good size average sauger down here. The lake here has a 6 fish limit, 14 inches. I'll take a quick measurement. Yeah, this is almost a 16-inch sauger. Pretty nice fish. Well, that's number one. Let me get the live well going. Okay. pretty good. Let's see if we can get a couple more off this bar. Like I said earlier, I like fishing these large, big, flat bars. This is a small, pretty small bar, but you can't pass these up either, you know. You got to find the one with the right characteristics that's productive, and this one has been holding fish for me the last couple trips out here. On top of the bar now, my lure is pumping. Dropping off. Being that this is a fairly small bar, it'd be a pretty good idea to anchor a cast on there. And another pass or two, we're going to give that a shot. I'm off the bar, I'm going to turn around and get on it again. Drops off to about 34 feet on the side. We're fishing feeder creek. Large feeder creek right now on Shelbyville. The main lake is out there, just beyond that point. I'm throwing out a marker. Give me a reference point out here, and that's where the bar comes up. Should be bumping it any second here now. Oh, and I got a fish right as I came up on the side of that bar. Yep, I got one on there. It's on the jig because I can feel the crankbait vibrate. Not a very big fish. Maybe it's the same as the one that we just got. But here's fish number 2. I think it's still on. It's a pretty small guy. But it came right on that break line. As soon as my lure hit that break line, it came up. That fish was there, and it was probably about 10 feet away from my marker at that. Yep, it's a walleye. Oh yeah, it's a nicer fish than I thought. Now we got a sauger, and now a walleye off this structure. And we've been fishing, I think, 10 minutes. It's a little better walleye. About the same as a sauger, 16 inches. So we got one sauger, one walleye. Well, the book tells us we should probably throw the anchor down. So I think we can give that a go. I got my marker out there.